Well, happy sunny day today. I just saw a yellow warbler out there in brightest yellow. It was as yellow as the forsythia. Welcome to day 27 of A Song a Day Keeps the Virus Away with Sally Rogers. Here I am. And today I have a song for you from one of my school residencies when the students wrote songs based on oral histories they collected, but I got to write songs based on primary source documents. And this story is what brought me to the town of Lebanon, Connecticut to begin with for their tercentenary. A friend of mine told me that there was this wonderful story about a woman named Sara Gray who had murdered her husband and her 5 children, and they were all buried in the cemetery there. And her husband, she'd murdered on board ship, and he'd been put in a cask full of rum, and he was probably buried in the cask of rum. Now, how's that for a story? So that got me interested. As it turns out, Sara Gray did no such thing. She loved her husband. She had lots of children, and she loved them as well. Sadly, they passed away in infancy of childhood diseases, probably because they were born on board of a ship, but when they came back home, they had not been exposed to any of the childhood diseases germs, and so they succumbed when they came back to town. She was on board 5 of her husband's whaling voyages, and on the 5th one, they were in where were they? Out between Guam, near Guam, and he suddenly had probably an appendicitis attack, and he suffered and died on board that ship, and she just could not bear to bury him at sea. So she had the cooper make a cask and put him in the cask and fill it with rum so that they could get his body back to their home in Lebanon, Connecticut, in Liberty Hill. And so many adventures happened in between times, and not least of which she had 3 children on board. So all of us who are stuck at home quarantined with our children, imagine being quarantined with 3 children on board a whaling ship for 2 years and with a crew of 60 stinking men, and whale blubber and oil and anyway, she was definitely I think she has one up on us. And she did finally get her husband home, and he was apparently buried at the Liberty Hill Cemetery. But the one intervening historical event that happened was when they went to the Bering Sea to whale after his death. The Shenandoah, which was a Confederate whaling ship, and it was out looking for the whalers, the Yankee whalers from the north. He found them, and he burned all of the Yankee whalermen to their water lines and put all of those men on board of Sara Gray's ship. What he didn't know is that the war was already over. This was in June, and the war ended in April. So the whole story is just fascinating. So I took the liberty of writing this song as if it were her diary, because no diary has been found for Sara Gray. She's mentioned in other women's diaries, but her diary was not found. So I took the liberty of taking the Greenland whale fisheries melody, which she no doubt had heard, and I put her song to that melody. And there's a wonderful refrain at the end of every verse, just the last line repeats, and please join me. Before I jump into it, though, I need to do a little business here, which is that I want to let you know that there's still 48 tickets available for the Middleburg Library concert on May 17th at 7 p.m. with myself and Howie Burson. We'll be doing a Zoom concert, and the tickets are available on my website in the store. Just look for virtual tickets, and I'll also put a link here. And also my Old Friends I Never Met album will be up there, and this song is on it. It will be on it. And I just want to let you also know, if there's any beginning dulcimer players out there, I'm going to be doing a beginning dulcimer class using Zoom for the Common Ground on the Hill Traditions Week in June. It's June 28th through July 3rd. There'll be five days of classes. And contact the commongroundonthehill.org to get more information about that. And of course, don't forget the virtual tip jar at www.sallyrogers.com if you like this song. And true to all ballads, this is a long one, so enjoy the story. on June the very first day. My brave Captain Gray on the James Maury set sail with 3 children and myself, Sara Gray, brave girls. 3 children and myself, Sara Gray. 'Twas my 5th journey to the whaling grounds, from Hawaii to Kamchatka shores. Though I love my hearth and home back on Liberty Hill, I love my dear family all the more, brave girls. Love my dear family all the more. I spent my days longing for company, again with women folk instead of crew. In the ports of Hilo, Honolulu, or on Guam, I hope for female friends and current news, brave girls. I hope for female friends and current news. Then suddenly on March the 22nd day, my captain groaned in pain and agony. For 2 days he suffered and he died aboard his ship, but I could not bear to bury him at sea, brave girls. I could not bear to bury him at sea. So we ordered the ship's cooper a cask to construct about the size of a man. We gently laid the captain in the barrel topped with rum to be transported back to land, brave girls. To be transported back to land. On Guam we hope to meet a merchant ship to carry my poor family home once more. But no merchant ship nor whaler did we spy, so we headed back north to Bering Shores, brave girls. We headed back north to Bering Shores. And we whaled dodging ice floes through the month of June till the Confederate Shenandoah we did spy. They took captive crew and captain of 7 Yankee whalers and burned them to their water lines, brave girls, and burned them to their water lines. The James Maury was ransomed with 1 other ship, the Shenandoah's captain did confide. This dear lady and her children on this ship we must spare, and her captain who in spirit still abides, brave girls. Her captain who in spirit still abides. More than 200 whaler men did board our ship, cramped and crowded towards Hawaii we did sail. A ship with boiling blubber I far would prefer to the stench of the Maury as a jail, brave girls. To the stench of the Maury as a jail. My children were exhausted, my captain was dead, with no transport to take his casket home. Then a merchant ship made port and took us all aboard. For New Bedford we sailed around Cape Horn, brave girls. For New Bedford we sailed around Cape Horn. I hired a cartage, burned all the barrel home to the final resting place of Sluman Gray. He lies buried in the cask on Liberty Hill, alongside the graves of our 5 babes, brave girls. Alongside the graves of our 5 babes. And now I live in Ellenville, New York, with my daughters Kate and Nellie and my son. Yes, young Sluman Jr. and all in this diary is true. That I love my children as I do my own life, and I cherish Captain Sluman too, brave girl. I cherish Captain Sluman too. Quite the story, huh? And just amazing, just amazing. Well, that will be on my new album. And I have a technical question for you out there. I have found that when you stand on stage and you ask someone, where can I get my tire fixed, someone knows. Well, I don't care about my tire, but I've been videotaping these live programs on Facebook using the vertical view only because it won't let me do it horizontally. It says rotate your phone or you'll be sideways. So does anybody know how to get around that? Because I would very much prefer to do these in a horizontal way. So if you have a hint for me, that would be great. And several people had asked me to turn my guitar around. There's a flip thing, which I have used at times on Facebook. But now, when I try to use it, even if I turn my phone off and turn it back on, when I try to use that flip thing, it turns the screen green. So you don't want to see me in green, believe me. So anyway, I'm just wondering, and if you have an answer to my problem, please just send me a message. That would be the best way to do it on Facebook Messenger. Thank you so much for coming today. And don't forget to go to www.sallyrogers.com where you can get tickets for the Middleburg Library concert, May 17 at 7 p.m. You can also pre-order my album, Old Friends I Never Met. And if you're so inclined, you can leave a little tip for the musician. Thank you very much, and be well and stay safe.